Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the Super Formula Championship on GT Sport. This is Race 2 here at Kyoto Yamagiwa-Myabi. Let's take you through the grid. It is Bidzster on pole position. Obviously the result of the first race is the grid for the second one. So Bidzster is in pole with maximum weight on, so that's going to affect him quite badly. Jamo with second place, weight on 160 kilos. Bidzster on 200. Then we've got Unforgiven in third, he's on 120 kilos. Then it is Firepower fourth place. Good finish for him in the last race, but the bad news is he's got 80 kilos on his car. Then we've got Techno in fifth, he's got 40 kilos on. And Seek One in sixth place, he is the first person without weight. And then behind him, Neil Farmack. Then we've got Thingamajig in 8th, Homesick in 9th, 10th is Keith, 11th is Rodders, and 12th is TY. So watch out for them two coming through from the back. So it could be a close race. So let's get on with the action then. So we're waiting for the revs to rise. We're watching Jamo's car so we get a good view of the grid. So Bidzster there on pole. There's Jamo. Revs rise as the lights go out, and oh, what a start from Unforgiven. What a start, that was literally cat-like reactions from him. He's straight into the lead of the race, and then Bidzster and Jamo going slightly backwards. This is where they're going to get eaten alive with that weight. Jamo gets clear, but Bidzster's under attack from everyone else. Neil Farmack leading the charge. And we've got a couple of bits of contact. Oh, we've got a car off. Seat One making contact with Techno, I think, but no harm, no foul. Further back, we've got Keith and Thingamajig making contact as well, and a little bit more contact there. Bang, 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 have that. It's like Dodgems as we go down the hill towards the hairpin. Neil around the outside of Bidzster. Jamo challenging him, Unforgiven for the lead. Bidzster and Jamo and Unforgiven with that weight on, remember, so they'll go backwards slowly in this race. We'll have to see how bad it's going to affect them though, but Seat One is all over them like a rash. Down to the next few corners, we've got Seat One right behind Neil Farmack, both of them trying to get to the front as quick as they can. And Neil Farmack goes round the outside of Seat One, tries to go round the outside of him. Seat One says no you don't, not having any of that. Down towards the hairpin, the catch up to Bidzster around the long corner as well. To the outside they go. Bidzster on the inside, Seat One going round the outside. Bidzster keeps the line on the inside line, but he'll not have a good run up the hill because of the weight on his car. And Neil Farmack takes it with ease, and Seat One looks like he's going to breeze through as well into the hairpin. We close right up on Jamo, but we all know Bidzster, he'll not give up without a fight if he can avoid it. As meanwhile, further back, the two Skidmark Racing Hondas are having a good little battle. I hate saying that name. As we go through the little kink at the end as Techno tries to go airborne. As Bidzster then trying to keep up with Seek and Neil, who are still attacking each other, as well as attacking the guys with weight on. But leading the first lap across the line is Unforgiven, and Jamo's right behind him. Obviously might be using the overtake straight past even the heavier car. And then we've got Jamo getting past there by it was Neil, sorry, it was Neil, not Jamo, it was Neil passing for the lead. Oh, I've got my names mixed up. But Neil takes the lead of the race. Unforgiven in second. Seat One is going to be second, I think, at the end of these few corners, which is right behind Unforgiven now. Remember the weight on Unforgiven's car, he's got 120 kilos as we go round the corner, pushing him round the corner. In the background as well, we've got the Techno in the Skidmark Honda going around the outside of the Sunoco Toyota. As Keith takes Bidzster, so Bidzster not making it too hard for his teammate, letting him go through because he knows he's lighter. So good teamwork there by the two Williams cars. But meanwhile, Seat One has got past Unforgiven, so it is Neil Farmack in the lead of the race. Seat One in second, Unforgiven third, and Jamo is about to be demoted to fifth, I think, because Techno's right behind him in the lighter car. Techno's got 40 kilos on, but Jamo's got 160, so it is a massive gap. And Keith's right behind them both. So Keith looking for a way through on the inside. Again, can't with a little bit of contact there, but again, couldn't be helped with the old Constantina together. As Bidzster's got Thingamajig right behind him now, so VRC Thingamajig making a move in the VRC motorsport car, so obviously promoting another group that they race for, so as well as LPB Racing as we go into the hairpin. Bidzster goes wide, practically leaves an elephant gap there for him to get through, but no way through is found. Jamo still defending, well he's now defending from Keith because Techno's got through. He's approaching Unforgiven already as Keith is attacking Jamo and Bidzster trying to stick with his teammate, trying to drive as hard as he can. But look at the tyre wear. Watch Keith's tyre wear as we flick to Bidzster. There, Bidzster's front right tyre's dying already, and we've only done 2 laps. As Thingamajig goes around the outside and uses a bit of grass and a bit of overtake to try and pass Bidzster around the outside, and he does it because Bidzster has to slow right down to the corner because of the heavier car. Rodder's closing up as well. TY's not really made any progress in this race either, and he's as light as anything. So weird as Homesick Alien at the back, he's gone right back as well, so must have made a mistake somewhere. As meanwhile Techno passes Unforgiven up the inside, so Unforgiven goes backwards with the weight on. Meanwhile Keith in the background trying to go around the outside of Thingamajig. Those two are very light in this race, as well as Bidzster defends from Rodders. I'm not letting you through, no ways Jose. He's trying to act as defenceman for his teammate as well while he gets up the field, so Keith not really having to worry about what's behind because Bidzster has more or less got it covered, but Rodder's trying to break that cover, trying to get past Bidzster, and he should be able to do it around the outside here, or even up the inside if he's lucky because of the weight of Bidzster's car. Bidzster has to slow right down as we go on board with Rodders. I was trying to get a backwards view from Bidzster's car there we go. So there's Bidzster, there's Rodders on the outside as we go straight past, but Bidzster defends the inside, no way Jose. Not yet, so Bidzster holding on for all his might. The seat 1 is now obviously in the lead of the race. Neil Farmack in second, so seat 1 takes the lead from Neil Farmack. We missed out the lead change, we'll get a quick replay on that for you. Here's a replay of how seat 1 took the lead of the race then, so into the hairpin. See, he's back there, and then he just goes on the brakes, nice and neatly up the inside, and a clean move for the lead. And now let's have a look at how Neil Farmack took back the lead. So Neil Farmack took back the lead there, just on the straight, nice with a bit of overtake. Farmack nicely past him. So if we now actually fast forward to when Seek actually passed him back, so if we look, they're all side by side coming up through this section. So through the long left-hander, we just fast forward to that section now, through this bit, we'll watch this bit onwards, down to the bottom of the hill. Seat 1 looking around, looking left, looking right, goes to the outside, Neil Farmack defends the inside. Now watch this for a bit of good driving, he goes around the outside, Neil cuts across and says no you don't, no way, I'm having a defence, and then goes wide into the next corner. Seat 1 sees the opportunity, tiny bit of rubbing, but again rubbing's racing, and then up the inside, and eventually gets past and takes the lead of the race. So as we come back from that then, Techno is back in third and Unforgiven in fourth. Jamo hanging on like his life depends on it as Unforgiven makes a mistake and Jamo closes right up. So the 2 cars we wait on struggling here, but Jamo goes right around the outside of him and says have that. So pass him around the outside, Unforgiven, VRC, Thingamajig, passing Unforgiven, and Keith trying to close up as well. Let's have an on board with Keith on the top of the car. This is the difference between the weight and not having it. You can see we're closing up on Unforgiven slightly. Further ahead we've got Thingamajig trying to go side by side with a 4th place Jamo, but that's not quite happening. So we just go back to this battle then. Thingamajig trying to go right around the outside of Jamo. That just shows you the pace of the cars when they've got no weight on. So the weight affecting Jamo quite badly here. Obviously this is a really bad track to carry the weight because it is a lot of fast corners and a lot of fast sections, so not good for carrying the weight through fast corners. Through slow corners you can get away with it as he just gives Unforgiven the squeeze and doesn't let him through. As Bidzster's still got Homesick and Firepower behind him, so Homesick's moved up again, so Homesick moves up the grid behind Bidzster now. So Bidzster trying to defend from Homesick, but it's probably going to be a matter of time, but Bidzster's trying to do the best he can to hold on. As Homesick goes for the inside, Bidzster chops in front, no you don't, and Homesick says yes I do, because he goes right up the inside and straight past him. Firepower is the next one on the hit list to pass Bidzster. It's Keith now, he's in front of Unforgiven, so Keith takes 6th place from Unforgiven. As they go up the hill, he's chasing Jamo now, the heavier car. So his teammate the heaviest and Jamo the 2nd heaviest, and he's catching him because remember Keith has got no weight on in this race, so we could see Keith up at the front towards the end if he can keep up this pace, but he's got to pass the very, very feisty Jamo because Jamo will not want to give up this place if he can avoid it. But look at Jamo's tyres, absolutely, that front right absolutely shredded almost, as well, compared to the other cars it is, as Keith then closes up. He's on the overtake, trying to pass Jamo. Jamo's on the overtake, trying to defend, but he's not got much of it left. Keith's got quite a lot left, and he just goes straight past him. Passes Jamo around the outside as Jamo can't take the cornering speed. And then we've got Unforgiven there with Homesick right behind him. Homesick moves out to the left, side by side through this section. Very brave, but Unforgiven I think just lifted off there, just let him go through. And Homesick takes another position. Next one, Jamo. You might be able to get Jamo here, so we'll just stay with this. Might be able to get Jamo around this corner as we go around the outside. He might go to the inside or the outside. Pick a side. There we go. Jamo defends the inside. Homesick to the outside. Jamo brake as late as he dares, but Homesick, just with the extra weight, can brake later, can take the corner apex better, and just drives right round the outside of him. So the weight really having its effect on the championship, because it's stopping people from running away with it. They've got to work for it. They've got to keep up the consistency throughout the championship if they can. So good to see it happening there. So seat 1 still in the lead of the race then from Neil Farmack. So it is the Nakajima Honda in first place, and the Sunoco Toyota. So good job by them. As we go into the next few corners, Techno there in third. Good job by Techno as well. VRC Thingamajig in fourth. Keith is catching up to these boys, so Keith is on the move here. Good to see Keith having some pace. And then we've got Unforgiven back there in seventh, Jamo in eighth now. So they've gone quite far back now, and as Bidzster still trying to hold off the rest of the mob, or the mob of one, which is Firepower. And TY and Rodders has gone right backwards there. So Rodders goes right backwards. Must have made a big mistake somewhere, because his last lap was a 2:04. So Rodders makes a big mistake and goes back down the order. But meanwhile, Bidzster holding off Firepower and TY for as long as he can. But if you look at, watch the tyres again. When we look at Firepower's car, I'm going to switch to Bidzster now. Look at the tyres. Front right tyre, but almost half of it gone. Just wearing completely. As TY goes right around the outside of Firepower, or tries to anyway. Has he done it? Yes! TY takes 10th place with a bold move around the outside. They go up to the long left-hander this way. Bidzster will be a lot slower than TY. TY goes for the inside and just takes the position and goes straight through to 9th place. And goes on the grass, he's lost it! Goes straight onto the grass, he's lost it! So TY takes the position and loses the car on the grass. That is not like TY, but TY makes the mistake nonetheless, as Bidzster then with Firepower right round the outside of him, trying to get the inside for the next corner, but Bidzster gets on the power, gets the traction, and gets the job done. So Bidzster keeps in front for now. Meanwhile, we've got Homesick. Oh, Keith's up to third! Keith is up to third. He's passed Thingamajig and Techno and Homesick. So he's passed them all, I think. So we'll get some replays on Keith's passing action. Look at the first pass that Keith did. So looking at Techno here, goes into the corner and just gets on the curb, loses the control of the car and goes onto the grass. And there goes Keith. That's one. Here's the replay of Keith's second pass here, up to get up to third place. So you watch Thingamajig ahead. Into the corner he goes, and then on the power, just gets over the bump on the power, loses control of the back end of the car, and Keith says, "Thank you very much, boys, I will take third place." And as we come back from that, there is the man who's took all those places. Keith in third place now, chasing the leaders. Let's see if he can catch up to him. So Neil's not got much boost left, Seek's got about a quarter left. Keith's got a lot left, so Keith could use a lot of this in these next few laps to try and catch up, so we'll see if he can catch up to the front runners. Meanwhile, we've got a good little battle here. We've got Thingamajig keeping off Techno for fourth place, up over the curb. The VRC Honda squad. We've got Techno in the Skidmark Honda in a sandwich of VRC Motorsport. So let's see if Homesick can do anything about this as well. So there's Unforgiven, he's with the weight on, Jammer with the weight on in 7th and 8th, so it's really turned the tables on this one. Bidzster with the maximum weight, with almost half his tyres gone, trying to keep back Firepower. He's on the boost now, just trying to defend with the boost, use it while he can. Rodders is now up to 11th as well, so Bidzster's got 2, maybe even 3 cars once TY gets onto the case. Firepower straight to the inside, past Bidzster. Straight past him, easy as that. Good move there by Firepower. And now it's Rodders' turn. Rodders trying to go side by side with Bidzster through this section. Don't do that, because we all know Bidzster will not lift. He will battle to the end. Typical touring car driver. As we go into the left-hander. Again, Bidzster slow around that corner, but trying to keep up with the other cars, doing a good job with the weight on. Having said that, the Jamo and the others doing a bit better. So Bidzster pulls out to overtake Firepower up the inside. He's not giving up, but Firepower again not giving up. Right round the outside, gets on the power. He's on the inside line. Bidzster just has enough room to come in across. Gets on the power on the outside, on the overtake. All 4 cars close together here. Amazing. Rodders and Firepower go side by side now, almost contact as we go down to the left hand, and TY thinking, oh, just take each other off, as TY goes right round the outside of Firepower. Firepower says, I've had enough, I'm backing out of that stuff. You guys enjoy your battle, I'll wait and see what happens. Rodders to the outside of Bidzster. Bidzster defends the inside to stop TY from going through. And on to the brakes. TY's a little look at Rodders, but Bidzster again holding off the competition. Fantastic defence here from Bidzster, really showing his credentials in LPB racing. Have been the hardest to pass, and he's making that really hard for Rodders and TY. But again, Rodders and TY especially, a very good attacker, very good at, probably the only person that can run par with Bidzster on attacking, but TY just gets a bit caught out there. I think it all got a bit muddled up, and TY gets hit and goes back down to 12th. Meanwhile, further ahead, we've got, I think I saw a little battle going into the first corner there. Was that 2 cars side by side? Unless, I think I did see him, but must not be there, must have not happened. So Keith trying to catch up for 3rd place. He's on the last lap, so last lap now. Seat 1 on his last lap of the race. Dominant in front, well held for this race. Good job so far by Seat 1. Neil Farmack is 2nd. He's just got, look at his tyres, he's got no tyres left. What's he been doing to them tyres? He's got no weight on it, he's got worse tyres than Bidzster and Jamo. But Keith there, he's in 3rd, looks settled for a 3rd now. As we've got Thingamajig in 4th, Techno 5th, Homesick in 6th, Unforgiven 7th, Jamo in 8th, and then Bidzster, oh no, Bidzster's gone back. Rodders has got ahead of Bidzster. Rodders gets ahead of Bidzster then, so Bidzster down to 10th, trying to hold off Firepower and TY to the line, so we'll see what happens there. But back to the leader then, Seat 1 in the Nakajima Honda. Doing a very good job here. Doing a very good job. As there's Neil in the Sunoco Toyota. And as you saw on the side of Neil's car there, I'll try and get a little close up on it if we can. Keep fighting Callum. We've got to keep fighting Callum. Sticker on the side of our cars, just to wish our friend Callum, who's suffering with a bit of an illness at the minute, just to wish him well. So good job by them. So Seat 1 then comes around the last corner. He's going to win this race. Seat 1 weaves across the line. He's going to be in 1st. Neil's going to be 2nd, but oh no, what the hell's Neil doing? He's stopping on the line. What is it? I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get placed for the next one, but he's stopping right on the line. Keith comes up to him and then hits him across the line. Just a bit of fun there, I think. But then Keith gets 2nd, Neil gets 3rd. Thingamajig 4th, Techno 5th, Homesick 6th. Bit daft by Neil that really, but Unforgiven 7th, Jamo in 8th. Rodders is going to be 9th. And Bidzster, defenseman of the race, keeping off for 10th place. TY does well to get 11th, and Firepower is going to be 12th in the end. But that was a bit silly there by Neil Farmack. It was very silly that. We'll just get a quick replay of what happened to that as well. Here's a replay of what happened to Neil then on the line. So going up towards the line, see he's got a full power on, then all of a sudden he decides to slow down because he wants to slow down and let all the people go, so he doesn't have to run weight in the next race. But it's a bit late to do that, to be honest. And then look, he causes an incident there where Keith hits the back of him, and yeah, so Keith hits the back of him, and yeah, because obviously a stationary car on the straight couldn't see him properly, and then Keith runs into the back of him, ends up getting 2nd place. And then Neil does actually end up being pushed across the line into 3rd. But it's the principle behind it. It was too late actually letting them through, and just stopping on a track where people are going 150 mile an hour plus past you is a bit daft on stopping on purpose. So Neil Farmack will have a 10-second penalty carried over to the next race. Okay, now we're back from that replay. Let's go and get the points confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results then. So Seat 1 wins the race. Well done to Seat 1. Keith then gets second after that controversial incident at the end between him and Neil, who was in third. Then we got fourth for Thingamajig. Fifth is Techno. Sixth, Homesick Alien. Seventh, Unforgiven. Then it is 8th for Jamo, 9th Rodders, 10th for Bidzster with all that weight on, TY 11th and 12th for Firepower. Fastest lap of the race goes to Homesick Alien, a 1:51.3. Okay then guys, after that your winner is Seek 1. Well done to Seek 1 in the Nakajima Honda. Good job by him, and we will see you guys next time for race 3. Take care guys.